Before the video starts, I would recommend the Holy Bible to read at the end of video. Please check out the link in the description. In today's message, the Father encourages us to have a hunger for the unattainable. Be hungry for the challenge of chasing the impossible, unlikely, and amazing impossibilities that will become your reality in me. Be hungry for the task. Choose the path that is the least difficult at all times so that you do not let your walk with me grow monotonous. Remember the old Caleb, whose heart ached for the battle of faith, and strive to be like him. According to the Father, there is only one fight that is worth fighting, and that is the fight that you win. If you are willing to just break free from the shackles of capitulation and compromise, I will reroute your course into territory that is beyond anything you could ever ask for or imagine of. The time has come for you. Now is the day for you. Put an end to such prayers and plans that are both ineffective and widespread. You are a son of the Most High and a fighter in my realm, thus, you should be stern with yourself and make the decision to recognize your claim. In search of virtue, do you find yourself famished and thirsty? If you want to see your prayers answered in a way that is obvious, does your heart begin to cry out? Are you prepared to make advancements in my kingdom that will strike a chord with every religious mindset you have ever held in your life? As a means of justifying their lack of authority, they concoct lies that are both complex and clever. If you have the bravery to snatch the prey from the mouth of the enemy and gain souls for your work, which others have written off as lost forever, I am about to cut through the tissues of their falsity and establish you in their midst as a vital and victorious warrior. I am about to establish you as a warrior who is victorious and lively. The Father encourages you to take a step forward and show that you are ready to be renewed and triumphant at this moment. According to what the Father has revealed to us today, there is no greater pleasurable experience for me than to walk beside you today. My smile and my favor are upon you today, and you are living under them. There will be times in the past when you have questioned, where is God in all of this? Today, you will go about your day as the object of my delight, and you will perceive my hand even in the difficulties that have forced you to query this question. There is a predetermined plan for you to be transformed into the image of the Son. I do not subscribe to the theory of fatalism. In my view, I am both dominion-minded and resurrection-minded. For your mind to be as my mind, and for your first response in times of crisis to be to turn in a loving relationship to me, and for you to give me your focus, rather than the deceptive and persistent strategies that the adversary employs to get you to gaze away from the throne. In what way does this imply? What do you need to do? The answers to these questions will invariably provide you with a more profound connection with me. I have never lost a match, and as a result, you have never lost a match either. I am placed at the right hand of the Majesty, and as a result, you are also seated at the right hand of the Majesty. This location is not only a vacation spot, rather, it is your home area. At this very moment, I refer to you as the enthroned, since you are my beloved. So, let go of the perspective that is only human and refuse to allow yourself to be disheartened. Don't let yourself be sidetracked. When you are under pressure, All you need to do is redouble your commitment to make the kingdom your top priority, and guess what? Your life will be swept away by a tsunami of my favor, grace, and power, and all things will be added to you. The worries and those who cause you difficulty will be removed from your possession. At this very time, the Father instructs you to synchronize the flow of my thoughts that are currently moving through your heart with the mental traffic that is occurring in your mind. You are aware that there is nothing for you to be afraid about. You are aware that my preeminence is making its way into your life in order to bring about maturity, victory, joy, and triumph in your day. Take this as an opportunity to learn something new. At a time when other people are raising their voices in protest and muttering, you should make the decision to enter the hidden location where I am present. What I am going to do to bring you through this in first-class fashion is going to be revealed to you when you open your eyes and look at it from that safe vantage point. No more accepting compromises. Your song will no longer be stifled throughout the nighttime seasons. My song should continue to play in your life, and you should not give the opposition of the enemy any opportunity to bring you down in any manner it may. You are a winning champion. You are a person who triumphs. Indeed, you are not a victim, rather, you are a conqueror. You are not required to combat the adversary, rather, you are given the opportunity to do so. Whether or not the adversary is being vanquished is beyond any reasonable doubt. The question that remains is whether or not you will have the opportunity to smack him in the face before he is finally dragged, beaten, and bleeding away from the battlefield of the struggle. Therefore, proceed with your day and do not let fear or intimidation prevent you from seizing this unique opportunity to put your foot in the neck of your adversary and proclaim from the very top of your lungs the preeminence of the cross and the manifestation of the throne in your life. This day, the Father instructs us to not flee from the crisis that is in front of us. During times of crisis, people are promoted and elevated. Those things, situations, and circumstances that threaten to bring you down are, in fact, helping you to rise up in the might of my might so that you can overcome every obstacle and fulfill the mission that has been predetermined for you. My power and strength are drawn to you as a result of the difficulty and crisis that you are currently experiencing. The grace and strength that I have for you are sufficient, and they are perfected in you, even when you are under the most intense pressure. You should not let the circumstances that you are currently facing prevent you from having faith. Your life is being transformed into a manifestation of my majesty and magnificence, and everything, including the plots and methods of the enemy, is leading to this transformation. My sovereignty and providence come together in this moment to create a breakthrough that is a synthesis of themselves. You are not going to have the opportunity to be terrified by the adversary. Rather, you should prepare yourself to be enthralled by the magnificence and mystery of how I will burst through at the appropriate moment and establish you in a victory that cannot be questioned. According to what the Father has told you today, they are going to refer to you as the comeback kid. Some people have written you off, while others have minimized the achievements you have achieved due to your success. You have a heart that is filled with a great deal of passion, and you have had a hard time thinking about whether or not my vision is ever going to be taken seriously. According to the Father, the vision is not what you see, rather, it is what I see. I have assumed responsibility for the vision as well as the heart, which is your heart and includes the vision. Realization and materialization of the vision are both on the horizon. You will not be denied. You will see everything that your soul has been going through, and you will be content with it. According to the Father, the act of bouncing back serves as an art form in the life of a fighter. Get back up after you've been knocked down, and do not let a seemingly insurmountable obstacle discourage you. I am a God who does not accept no as a response, and I do not want you to accept no as an answer either. Not give in to the demands of the adversary. There is no room for compromise. There will be no surrender. This moment is the fulfillment of your deepest, most heartfelt desires and your most profound dreams. To the deeper depths and greater heights, where all of your goals are spontaneously fulfilled, and where my purpose is determined beyond all questions, in your behalf, press forward and continue to move forward. What the Father is saying to you today is that you should make the decision to find glory in your trials and tribulations. Be conscious of the fact that the joy you derive from gloating in your helplessness is a precursor to the triumph that will undoubtedly come after it. My magnificence is the destination of every event and every occurrence that takes place in your life on a consistent basis. Due to the fact that you are preoccupied with the expectancy and interest regarding the manner in which I am going to present my lordship in the case, you do not have the time to consider being intimidated. A comparison between the sorrows of the day and the grandeur that is to come is not something that is worthy of being made. Instead of glory at a later time, the glory that comes after is splendor right now. Are you able to provide an answer right now? Right now is the only thing I have to offer you, but the only thing I have to offer you is right now. I have placed my spirit and my power upon you, and it is because of these things that you are able to receive glory even in the midst of persecution and assault. Instead of looking for pity, you should look for my majesty. Utilize your youthfulness to wear down the adversary. It is possible to wear down the adversary by remaining more refreshed for a longer period of time in the knowledge and conviction that my mercies are restored each morning. As a result, the Father asserts that there is no problem. In my majesty, you are not being robbed, rather, you are being robbed in front of me. You are not going to be a victim. Even in the most difficult of times, you will discover the dominance that I have instilled in you as the standard response of a fighter to any challenge. The saints have reached this level of maturity. On the other hand, as a member of my kingdom, you mature by maturing into joy, simplicity, and rejoicing in every victory that is wrested from the jaws of defeat and agony. The world matures into cynicism and despair. According to what the Father has revealed to us today, your strength in me originates from an internal source rather than one external conjuring. There is a space within you that I have created that is serene and tranquil, and it is the source of the power and anointing that you have within yourself. Communicate with the adversary from that location. In spite of the very real pressure that the adversary is attempting to bring against you in spite of the circumstances, you should direct your attention to the fact that the adversary has failed. Once you have identified the crisis, you should be aware that it is something that is external to you and cannot have any impact on the quality of the God life that is within you. Dearly beloved, a crisis is a natural occurrence that occurs on the way to your destiny. The time has come for you to accept the fact that a crisis is not something you will try to avoid anymore. You will no longer try to dodge the crises. Rather, you will step up to the crisis, just as I did when I stepped up to the storm and simply murmured, "Be still." I just took the stillness that existed within my own being and released it as a template of expectation on the winds and the waves that were battering the ship. This was how I was able to calm the storm that was cherished. I had been walking with the disciples for such a long time, but they had no idea what was going on. They perceived my strength as something that was drawn upon from the outside. Rather than being an external conjuring, my power in you is a release that comes from within. Dearly beloved, you should start to see within yourself each and every condition that you are pleading with me to make real in the outside world. You will come to the realization that a significant portion of what you are requesting is already there within you. It is simply waiting to be released by the words that you speak and the authority that my blood has shed. Do not turn around and look back, the Father warns today. Instead of focusing on the things that are behind you, put your attention on the things that are in front of you. Forgive, let go, bless, and go on with your life. Forgive yourself first, since you will not be able to forgive other people unless you have first forgiven yourself and made the decision to refrain from dwelling on the things that you ought to have done differently or could have done differently. Declare that you will go and sin no more, and accept the deliverance that you have received through faith. It is not that I am angry with you, nor am I pointing fingers at you for things that occurred in the past. Receive my mercy and know that my mercies are refreshed each and every dawn. Ignore the humiliations and disappointments that you have experienced in your own life. Due to this, you are in need of a Savior. It is for this reason that I live within you, and it is for this reason that I will keep living in order to pray on your behalf before my Father. Take a look and live. Take a look at me. Consider the cost that I incurred in order to relieve you of the heavy responsibilities and set you free. Says the Father, this is the time when your burdens will be light and your yoke will be easy. Step into your liberation today. Today, the Father tells you that this is the hour that you will never forget. Having the courage to fill yourself with the completeness of who I am in your life is something that the Father encourages you to do today. Having been created in my likeness, you are both lovely and terrible, intended to display my glory. I have called you to greater things than the earthly constraints and territories that surround you can contain, and it is time for you to shine and recognize that I have called you to these things. You are granted unrestricted access. Do you seriously believe that the adversary will be able to hold you back for even a fraction of a second, considering that you have unrestricted access to my capabilities, my strength, and my resources? Make a mental command to yourself, think the thoughts of God. See what God sees, you should call out to your eye. Put your feet together and say, go where God goes. Tell your hands, I command you to do what God does, and act accordingly. The Father says, This is your time, he says. If you want to utter the words of God, say it to your mouth. You become God in your life and in the circumstances you find yourself in when you speak my words. I am able to embody the awareness of your words. Your words are the key to transitioning from merely visiting to residing and possessing something. This day, the Father declares that all of heaven is supporting the words that you have said, complete with faith. Proceed forth and take possession of your land. In today's message, the Father says, I am bringing you to a new and fresh dimension of intimacy with me. Your closeness to me is the aspect of you that the adversary of your soul finds to be the most powerful and threatening. The Father declares that you are the recipient of my goodness, my kindness, and my dominion. I pronounce this to be the case. You are being taken beyond the outer precinct of my intentions, since your portion is to be more than an outer court believer. I am moving you beyond that precinct. I will bring you past the rent veil into the surroundings of the mercy seat, which is where my glory resides. Neither the inner court nor the inner court will hold any fascination for you. It is imperative that you do not let the presence of friends, co-workers, or family members prevent you from rushing to the location that I have reserved for you in the name of my glory. I went away to make sure that I had a location ready for you, didn't I say that? Put that far away, says the Father, for the glory realm is a future destination, yes, but an internal now reality for you to come into and partake of all that is offered to you there. Put that far away. There is an inventory of every request that you will ever pray in the glory, and the glory is already there within you, waiting to make its way out into your life as responses that are actually manifest. Come into my glory place, says the Father. Here is your natural habitat as a child of God, whom I name my beloved. Bring yourself into my glory place. Before the video ends, I would recommend the Holy Bible to read at the end of video. Please check out the link in the description.